Okay. So for the troopers that have been here like an hour ahead of time, this one's for you, right here. You're welcome. As customary, we will get going in about 5 minutes here. Okay, it's showing up live on my phone now, which is good. Yo, oh boy, 3 a.m. Welcome. Welcome to Nathan's Clubhouse. Message retracted. Hi. Hey, Shay White, welcome. I would love to see Johanna in your style. Johanna, huh? Which of the many Johannas in the world? Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. Hello. Oh, hello there! Shrek here, and I'm ticked off that people think that just because I'm an ogre, I can't dance! Hey, Raw Master. Yeah, I'm fine at the moment. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we're gonna... This is my new mascot redesign right here. This is actually what I look like in real life, by the way, too. Oh, is your ballerina rabbit? You would probably have to send me an image of that character somewhere, like on Instagram or whatnot, because I'm not sure how I'd even go about trying to find that. Hey, I'm new here. Hey, new Joshua G. Eaton, welcome. Hopefully I said that right. Here's my drawing request if you get to mine. Can you draw a Garfield character design, expression sheet, in a grotesque Ren and Stimpy art style? Well, that's like my expertise there, so probably could do something like that. That's the Incredible Hulk, but drawn in the style of Frankenstein. Oh, interesting. I could try doing something like that. Gotta include the welcome, Dennis. The obligatory your mom joke in there. Because that's just kind of my shtick with these things. Just got back to see this. Oh, simply splendid. Welcome, Psychostatic. Hello, CJ Destroy Animation. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club. Or that's at least what my marketing agent told me to say during the stream. First time stream viewer, here we go. Nice. Yeah, I recognize you from Art Fight, I think. Hey, Peter Art, featuring your mom! When is Mother's Day, by the way? I know that's like early mid-May. Okay. I was thinking, man, I should do like an early stream for Mother's Day where I just draw people's moms. I request you to draw Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus in rubber horse style. Rubber horse? I'm familiar with rubber hose, but the horse I'm not sure. I know what you mean, though. Welcome, Jackson. I don't know, try drawing Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but in your style. Dragon Ball. I mean, I could try. I don't think I've drawn any Dragon Ball characters, but I'd be willing to give that a shot, I guess. It'd be an interesting challenge to start off with. Gonna give this some color. Milton Lixley in Family Guy style? No. Just no. I can draw. I won't draw the character, but the Family Guy style is off the table. I'm sorry. Just stop. Second Sunday of May, so 10th. Ah, gotcha. How long is the chat delay? It's pretty long. I think it's like, on average, it's like 30 seconds to a minute delay. So, yeah, I guess it's appropriate that I drew myself as the sloth here. I'm going to be really slow to messages like I always am. Unless it's running better on other people's ends, I am not sure. It's hard to tell. Check stats for nerds and see the latency. Or, here's a question already. Do you have experience of animating prior to your internet career? I can go about answering that, but, let's maybe just get started with the stream here, because it is 1 o'clock. Let me get my obligatory opening out of the way. What's up, guys? This is Scarce here. Welcome to another stream of mine. Another monthly one. Do another one of these streaming thingamabobbers. Yeah. So as I mentioned in my announcement posts, this past month has been really busy for me. It's been really cool. It's been a fun month, but I've had very few times where I can actually just sit and relax and just exist. So today we're just doing as simple as you can get. We're doing drawing requests and Q&A. So ask me to draw anything and I will probably, and ask me any questions and I will answer probably. And that's it. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I'll just pick out a request that's already in chat and we can go from there. I gotta catch up with the chat here already. Start with a challenge. Anyway, question here. Do you have experience of animating prior to your internet career? That's how I started animating. I published my animations on the internet first before I did any professional work. So that's how I started animating. What was the first animation you have done in general? Storm and Rain is probably the first like big animation I've done, like the first actual short film. But as for my first animation, like period, I did a couple of tests. There was an older one that I did with my two characters, Gordo and Quincy, the two leads of my pilot that I'm working on, where they just do a simple blink cycle and that's it. I think I shared those early animations in my Storm and Rain stream, so if you want to look at those, go ahead. Alright, I'm assuming this is Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We're just gonna go with it, just because. The Beyond Cartoonz. Yes. Let's see. Can I see Connie from Brickleberry in your style, pretty please? Brickleberry? That sounds familiar. Yes, you are the art fight person. You sent me an email? Okay, I'll look at that. You're going to check you're going to check your search history? My search history? What are you doing? Okay, cool. You love video games? What is your top 5 video games? Oh, geez. Okay, well, actually, this might be a little easier to answer than I thought. So, top 2, Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. I do not have a preference for either in particular. I love both equally. Cave Story is another huge favorite. Penny's Big Breakaway. I love that game to pieces. Fifth one, I'll go with Rayman Legends, just for now. But yeah, those would probably be my top 5 favorite, just off the top of my head. Kitty Linksley in Snoopy Charlie Brown style. Okay, I could probably do that. All these style requests. So I'm going to try to be somewhat tasteful with how I draw this. Like I said, I have not drawn a single Dragon Ball character, nor have I ever been exposed to Dragon Ball. I just kind of know it exists. I know a couple of the memes. Like, I was alive in the era of It's Over 9,000. Just kind of starting off with something. I'll work it into something a little bit more solid in a minute. Something like that, maybe. Sorry, did I fall through again? I think I do recognize that line. My fluffy-haired, no-eyebrows man himself. Yeah, I was actually just wondering about that. He has a very peculiar lack of eyebrows here. Okay, we gotta get that neck in there. I need more room. I'm gonna need room for that hair. He's got a lot of it. He's starting to look like Sonic. Kids, there's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if you're being touched in a place by someone you don't know that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good. Alright. We're just gonna go completely nuts with the hair here. Or at least try to. Some of these might be a little quick, just depending on like, how many requests I want to get to in a certain period. But I will do my best with all of these if I can. I mean, there's no real stake, so I don't mind taking my time. Banana hair, yeah. You love anime? I really love Japanese animation. Anime, like, I guess like the typical definition, not particularly. I'm not super enthusiastic about, but there's certain pockets, there's certain times where I dabble into it that I just really love. There are certain Japanese artists and directors that are my all-time favorites, like Hayao Miyazaki and all the folks at Studio Ghibli. Also, I forget his name. I think his name's like Matsuya Yuasa, I think is his name. Probably butchered it terribly, but he directed films like Lou Over the Wall, I think, which is one of my favorites. I have a particular fondness for like older animes, like 60s, 70s, and 80s animes in particular. They have such an aesthetic and like a vibe to them that I just really gel with well. If you tried to draw in the opposite of your normal style, so I guess the opposite in that case would be like realism. And yeah, I have dabbled into it quite a bit. Every single week, I will draw these portraits of either people that are really influential in my life or, just interesting subjects in general. And I'll usually do one of those each week. But that's about it. I don't do as much life drawing as I wish I could, or that I could spend the time on. But that's something that I eventually want to do more of. Astro Boy, Gundam stuff? Yeah, stuff like that, kind of. Anything like Azuma Tezuka, I just kind of, my heart goes burr to. Have you drawn Jeffy? No. Just no. Get this Super Mario Logan nonsense out of my stream. I'm just kind of copying off the pose slightly. This is kind of like my warm-up to kind of really get into the swing of things. There we go. Miyazaki's one of the very few Japanese animators who draws children that look like children. Exactly, yeah. Well, I still feel like that My Neighbor Totoro is probably the single greatest children's movie ever made. It's just like children's movies, like in the West here, like I don't know. There's something about them that I just, for the most part, I'm just kind of irked by. But like something like My Neighbor Totoro just completely, Miyazaki understood like what children want and like what kind of goes through their minds and how they view the world, and it's just so perfectly encapsulated that I think it's like the perfect movie for children. Oh my goodness, I gotta catch up with all these questions, man. Sheer amount of episodes a lot of the more popular anime have. That's one thing that actually kind of scares me off. It's like the level of commitment that I have to make with some of these. It's like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, if I were to start One Piece, like, Lord, I don't know, I might be like 30 by the time I finally catch up with that darn thing. Or Pokemon, oh goodness. Let's see. Can you please draw fan art of Cream Puff from Zuzu Pets Kittens wearing Roger Rabbit's bow tie and overalls? Maybe. I don't know. I'd rather just draw Roger Rabbit. Most basic example being, okay. Why not go with something realistic, semi-realistic, you know? Can you draw the boiled one, but he is he is Big Chungus? These are the weirdest requests, man. I don't know. Okay, we'll probably go with this for now, just for simplicity. Of course, now I'm gonna have to actually color this thing in, or attempt to. So I'm gonna blow you up like that. No, let's actually blacken it out a little bit. So I should have done right away. Okay, I'll try to match up like some of these colors. Oh, jeez Louise. Not closing my gaps. King K. Rool and David Feist style? Maybe. Love this cartoony Goku. Thank you. I wasn't really feeling that great about it, honestly, so I'm glad you the people are think it's cool. As far as I'm concerned, this is a very quick and dirty Goku, so. A lot of the requests today, I think, are going to be pretty quick and dirty, because there's already so many coming in. It's okay, Pokemon fans don't watch Pokemon. Alright then I'm fine. Have you ever heard of the monthly drawing event called Art Fight? Great encouraged to look up on that one. I've been doing Art Fight for 4 years. So yes, I have definitely heard about it. I'll probably do it again this year. Okay, hold on. Like flipping all the traits, not just cartoony realism, I mean like realistic proportions and details, thick line art, every single thing you can jot about your art style. Flipping on said, oh, I see, okay. Then something like that, no, I guess not. I guess I thought you were talking about like the more literal sense. Falling through Incredible Hulk, but drawn the style of Frankenstein. I can do that one next, just let me finish up Goku. Again, I'm trying, folks. I really am. All these gaps that I'm really capable of because I'm just going way too fast. Way too fast for my own good. Okay, where's this coming from? Right here. There we go. This is really quick and dirty. Oh my goodness. Just gonna do that right there. About this color looks like. Closer to that. A lot of gaps to fill here. Are you a Voltron fan? I've had zero exposure to Voltron, actually. I'm aware of its existence, though. Really excited for Art Fight. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Art Fight this year for me, because I have been like I said, I've been a lot busier with life. Mostly, like, professional and personal projects, too. So, we'll see if I'm even able to contribute much this year, but I do intend on going at it again. It's kind of become tradition for me, so I think it'd be fun. Okay, can somebody pitch in? What are Goku's eye color? Real quick. As I'm polishing this up, somebody let me know. There's gotta be at least one person in the audience that knows the eye color of Goku. Or at least this version of. I want to make sure I get that right. You're doing swell, mate. Thank you very much. I hope I'm doing alright. Again, this is actually quite out of my comfort zone, so this is, again, a good challenge to open up with. Okay, we'll double the line work there. There we go. I don't care if these are a little rough around the edges. Green, thank you very much. Oh, he does not have an eye color? Oh. We'll just give him green anyway. Just for now. Okay, there's your Goku. Let me make a folder for him so I can organize things. There we go. I'll throw that in there too. Okay, next request. I've seen my request if you're on the table, that's okay. I specified this when I was announcing this, that like, due to the nature of live requests like this, I probably won't be able to get to all of them just because I'm scatterbrained, it's hard for me to keep track. Now it reminds me of Woody Woodpecker. Awesome. Okay. And black pupils, okay. Love it. You didn't get my request drawn in 0.5 seconds? Schrader! Send an FBI to your house. Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Okay, so yeah, let's do Hulk drawn the style of Frankenstein. We'll draw another buff man. Because why not? I'm just gonna swipe just a random image of the Hulk, just because there's a million different versions of the Hulk. We'll just do the Wikipedia image, because why not? It's the Green Man. You know, the guy you see on cans of celery. What about Elon Musk with a gun? Why, though? Okay, ROM Master, you might have to fill me in. What version of Frankenstein are we talking about here? Because I'm not too familiar with what you're talking about. Which artist did the Hulk amazingly well? Quest, Screwy Squirrel? Oh, I'd be down for Screwy Squirrel. I'm actually gonna save that. Just pull that up. Had super strong Frankenstein vibes. Huh. King Neptune from SpongeBob. Oh, that might be a fun one. Elon Musket. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to draw Elon Musk with a gun. Here, somebody brought up Screwy Squirrel, so this one should be quick. So let's do this one quick while ROM Master looks all that up. There we go. This war criminal. We'll do this one rather quickly. Or you could do Diddy. You could do Diddy Kong. Draw Droopy wearing a clown costume. Hooray. Joe Bennett's design is close enough. Okay, I wonder if I can look that up. Most suggestions have been Diddy and Elon. model. So cute, love it. Thank you. Oh, was he talking about a different Diddy? He might have been talking about a different Diddy. Not Diddy Kong. I think, is that a rapper's name? I don't know. I'm so out of touch with music right now that I don't know what he could be referring to. Okay. I'm gonna try to draw this literal menace real quick. Not doing it terribly well right now. Yeah, let's just start from the beginning. Definitely talking about Diddy Kong and not the other Diddy. Okay. I'm a wascally kind of guy. He's got really big like wedgy sort of feet, so we'll get those in there. That's there you go. Yeah, can I share with you Kitty Lingsley ref sheet and you draw her in David Feist style? If you got me on Instagram, shoot me a message. That'd probably be the best way for me to see it. Go with like a more unique expression here if I can. Okay, got the exact one, but I need more references. Okay. I was talking about Diddy Kong, but he has to be buff. I have to draw a buff Diddy Kong, I guess. Alright, whatever, man. Welcome to the Buff Men request stream. Okay, something like that, maybe. Try to get his hand up here. This is a little rough, but that's alright. Have his tongue out. There we go. His nose, we'll do it like a lighter sort of brush there. I need room for his tail. Give me a second. Probably could have drawn this guy even wackier, but this will suffice. Again, I meant to make this one quick, but it's trying to figure out a lot of things. All right, let's color this screwball in. Or I will try to, at least quickly. I neglected a part of his foot. That's not very good. Okay. Can't send you images on Instagram. Oh, you can't? Oh, Okay. I've been doing a bit of gesture drawing to try and practice anatomy posing, and it's actually kind of helped me quite a bit. You ever do this kind of practice? If so, how do you feel about it? I'm gonna make a horrible confession, but I I don't do it very often, if I'm being honest. I need to get in the habit of doing it more though, because for the few instances where I have done it on a semi-regular basis, it has been incredibly helpful. I just get caught up with a lot of other things that I just don't often make it a priority like I should. But no, if for posing particularly, that's like the best thing that you can do is do gesture drawing. So props to you for regularly doing that. All my gaps, all my silly little gaps. Just kind of add in my own colors here. Then, let's see, he's got like a lighter color in his ears, I think. Give him a nice pink tone. I almost completely neglected how his mouth works, so let's address that. Kitty or King K rule, choose one. Okay, I could. I will choose one. You should draw your character cackling. Oh gosh, do we tell him? Wondered what the Grinch looked like in a Ren and Stimpy style. I've done one myself, but I think you could probably draw that. Maybe. Looks like the HBO Max cartoons from Peter Braungart. Well, I take that as a compliment. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to the Blu-ray release of the complete Looney Tunes cartoon set. It's about time something like that was actually put out. Because that is a pretty dang solid set of cartoons there. Okay, there we go. That's more true to form there. Gotta fill in some gaps here. Make his nose even blacker, honestly. We need it way darker. Perfect. Get a little bit of a shine on there. Kind of like that. Fill in some more blanks here. Okay. Okay, I think that's good enough. There's a screwy squirrel, or at least an attempt at it. Okay. I mean, you find her on Google, and David Feist style is pretty easy. Remember Diddy Kong buff. I will, I will remember that. Okay. Kitty Linksley. Okay, let's draw Kitty Linksley. Wait. Okay, hold on. Kitty Linksley. Hopefully I spelt that right. Okay, let's find this character. I don't know who Kitty Linksley is. Oh, from Zootopia 2? Okay. I have not seen this movie yet, so I have no idea who this character is. But we'll draw her, sure. In David Feist style? Okay. Let's channel in my inner David Feist here. Let's do my best. So, usually the first step for this sort of thing is to kind of go a little crazy with the snout. Just kind of pulling this out of my hat right now. Something like this. To gesture mainly to have a basic grasp on character anatomy, as there's a lot I have yet to learn. Anatomy is like the hardest thing in art for me, honestly. That's why I try to just like think of things in the most basic of forms, if I can. Because trying to remember everything and how it all works, it's tough. Particularly for me in like the arms and the legs. It's just like, gah! I can't wrap my head around any of this. It's too much. Okay. There we go. That feels more right. Love it already. I think Zootopia 2 is actually very good. I heard it was rather good. Yeah, I heard that people liked it. Again, I won't throw my 2 cents on it because I haven't seen it. Now, because this is David Feiss, I'm half tempted to kind of give her a bit of a beer gut. Because a lot of David Feiss characters are just kind of like that. They've got very pearish bodies. Something like that. There we go. Something like this. Very goofy style. That's just David Feiss, though. He is the definition of goofy. ASR Anzori, welcome. Greetings. This just randomly entered my recommended. Well then, welcome. YouTube's finally doing its job. Okay, I can't find the exact one from a video thumbnail. John Bryan's Hulk is good enough. Okie doke. Gotta draw the... This is actually looking kind of like a weird mix between David Feiss and Pat Ventura. It's kind of an odd mix between the two. So we'll go with it anyway. Get the tail in there. Howdy, Cartoon Chaos. Use YouTube correctly. Use the subscription page first, then home. It gives the vibes of both. Why am I talking like this? I'm just adding the S's to every ends of my words because it's cools. Okay, I suppose we can color this in then. Here, I'll draw a chicken from memory for good measure. Can we recommend any random characters? You can draw it. Yeah, you can recommend anything, and I will try to draw it. I can't promise I'll get to everything just because, you know, there's already been a lot of requests made already. And that's just kind of the nature of taking requests live. There's going to be some that slip through the cracks, but yeah, feel free to suggest any if you got any. That's what this stream's all about. Just make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, we'll have chicken cut off a little bit. That should do the trick. Do you also keep making the same face from the characters you are drawing? I try my darndest to avoid stuff like that because I will see that every now and again depending on my drawing energy, like how enthusiastic I am to draw. Same face syndrome can sometimes plague what I'm doing, and I try to avoid that at all costs. Because when I'm drawing, I like to invent things. I like to invent faces and draw things unique to specific characters. Next is Diddy Kong Buff. And then after that should probably be the Hulk. So I've already got a nice queue of buff boys. I'm getting my musculature practicing today, folks. Probably just gonna stick with like more simple colors here, honestly. Just for time. Because it's already 1:37, believe it or not. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what we're working with. Okay. Just trying to close off gaps here. It's a little tough. Just a tad bit tough when you're drawing as loosely as I am. I'm just trying to color things a little bit so it's, you can see a little more effort was put in. You have any tips for drawing expressions? I've actually been wanting to dedicate like an entire stream to that idea. Maybe that could be like next topic or whatnot. But my main thing is just look at how people express in real life. Look at real expressions that people make. And also just knowing your facial anatomy can be really helpful too. Just knowing how all the parts of the face kind of work with and against each other to create different expressions and whatnot. I would probably start there. And then from there you can kind of exaggerate based on what you know to any extreme that you wish. It's just about knowing the baseline and then being able to kind of go from there. That'd probably be my best advice there. Okay. Me gaps, my lord. They are not too good. Okay, I'm gonna add some eye shine so you can actually see legitimate eyes down there. That's kind of better. Maybe some actual eyelashes. No, not eyelashes, actual eyebrows. Might be kind of helpful. I'll say they're dramatically improved the algorithm. It's not just about raw view time now, instead it's CPM and loyalty. It is nice that they actually have been making some efforts to improve the algorithm and how YouTube works, because it seems just like all the time it's just a complete travesty, and the way it works is just kind of unfair for a lot of different people. At least, at last, YouTube is doing something that's not cruddy. Oh my gosh. Ah! Let's not do that again. I need to finish my lines, gamers. Okay. Okay, I think that's good enough. We'll settle with that for now, I guess. Okay, what was it? Buff Diddy Kong? Alright, let's let's do this thing. It's chicken from Cow and Chicken. Yeah, Psycho. Morton Phil, love to see those two in your style. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually look this up here. Give me a second. Mortadelo. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, these guys. Yeah. Yeah, I love these two. Okay, I could probably draw these two. I can probably give them a shot. Yeah, I love the style of these comics. They're awesome. Okay, 2 requests. Kane from Digital Circus and OC Mac, because I love the redesign you gave him last time. I could probably do that again. And also, just... drawing Kane is kind of my specialty. It's all I exist to do. It's all I'm good at. Fancy looking cat with some dumb chicken. do, you know you're David Feist. Do you not do you not know who this chicken is? Okay. Yeah, we'll use the new design for Diddy Kong, because why the heck not? It's Diddy. Golly, doing the DreamWorks pose. Okay. Diddy Kong started lifting. He became a gym bro. I'm going now. Goodbye. Bye, Shy White. You could add skinny Diddy Donkey Kong. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I think we're onto something. Sure, we'll use the controversial Donkey Kong redesign too, for reference. Oh no, this is gonna be something. So, Buff Diddy, John Brain, Hulk, Morton Phil, Kane and Mac also. Skinny Donkey Kong. Exactly, yes. We got quite the lineup going on here. Okay, I do have the Hulk up. I do miss OG Donkey Kong. Like, I don't think the new design is that bad, but as far as I'm concerned, the Rare one was perfect. There's a reason they kept using it. It just became like the mainstay Donkey Kong design. Because it was perfect. I don't know, man. Was the new Donkey DK controversial? Not necessarily. It was just like Nintendo gave Donkey Kong's design a bit of a makeover, and opinions were just slightly mixed. Like, it has nothing to do with like the actual games or the series being controversial. It's just the design change. So let's draw our Buff Diddy. Oh man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm ready for skinny Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong's gonna be really happy. He's like, check it out, DK! I'm working at the gym! Now I can eat 3 or 4 times as many bananas! New Donkey Kong honestly looks weird. Shrek's design in Shrek 5 is also controversial. Yeah, exactly. Did they say why he had a makeover? There was never any reason for it. They just wanted to give him a makeover. And that's about it. I think the movie had something to do with it. But nobody really knows why it was instigated. It was just like, okay, this is how we're doing Donkey Kong now. Okay, this is... Dude, I am already regretting this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Get those abs in there. Yup. He's really working them biceps right there. Oh my gosh. I hope you all were ready for this. New standard excuses, new generation, blah blah blah. Yeah, stuff like that. Deku Sonic. DreamWorks has become the Disney they tried so hard to get away from. Yeah, in a weird way, actually, now that you bring that up. DreamWorks became the very thing they sought to destroy. But I think they're in a decent place, honestly. But, I mean, DreamWorks has always almost kind of been the same. They're just kind of they're wildly inconsistent a lot of the time. Okay, hopefully this guy doesn't end up showing in any of your guys' nightmares tonight. This is borderline horror, what I'm drawing right now. I don't know, man. Maybe I shouldn't have given him so much muscle. Yoshi was just kind of there the entire time in the Peach Galaxy movie. That's what I've been hearing, and that really saddens me because I love Yoshi. And like he was the main thing they teased at the end of the first one. So I don't really understand why they never like really made good use of him. He was just there to hype up the second movie, and that was it apparently. Okay, we're almost done with this beast. Okay, his thumbs are on like the inside. Okay, that's good to know. Is that? I have no words. I'm bringing something truly cursed to this land right now. Okay, we gotta get his tail in there. It can be really small, though. There we go. There's Buff Diddy. You're welcome, folks. Let's draw a skinny Diddy Kong now. I mean, skinny Donkey Kong. Without further, swole by default. That is true. Look, if all of you are looking for an Amari movie's references to Clap 2, it'll do. Yeah, that's for sure. Seen the main characters for the next Disney movie, Hex? Or Hexed? Yeah, I'm not too enthused about it, but I also haven't been too enthused by anything Disney's really done in like 5 years. So it's not surprising. It's kind of more or less the same for me. Okay, we're gonna draw Danky Kane now. Skinny Danky Kane. Again, definitely not going to be cursed in any way whatsoever. I really got to catch up with the chat here. I'm just really falling behind. Did they manage that? The first one was already such a nothing burger. Yeah, seriously. This huge pelvis makes me uncomfortable. What? What do you mean? Don't worry about it. Makes me think of a grade 8 from Dragon Ball. Star Fox has been reduced to that guy from Smash for kids these days. Very unfortunately, yeah. I think a lot of characters, a lot of Nintendo characters have kind of become like that. So if they're ever in anything anymore, like in the Mario movie, most kids are probably just going to be like, oh, it's that guy from Smash! Instead of actually knowing the history of that character. This is, Donkey Kong hasn't drank or eaten anything in 3 days. Donkey Kong. He needs to have his bananas so he can keep up with his muscles. For any of you who have witnessed the horrors of the Donkey Kong 90s show, I'm sorry for the flashbacks. Sorry for triggering the PTSD. You probably do. This is not okay. What I'm drawing right now, this is not okay. Why'd I agree to do this? Okay. Why that face for DK? I don't know, man. Because he's skinny all of a sudden? So he's like, why the heck am I so skinny? You'd probably have the same face too if you all of a sudden lost like 100 or 200 pounds of your body weight. Give me the masterpiece from the 90s. The masterpiece. Yeah, that one particularly. Uh-huh. I don't know. I mean, people like the show, and that's completely fine. I have no objections for that. But like, man, it's like one of the most horrifying things ever made. I do quite enjoy it from like an ironic standpoint, though. Okay, so there. Yup. Buff Diddy and skinny Donkey Kong. We're gonna shrink him down. There we go. The short Star Fox animation they had was really cool. Shame it's all there is. They should really do more with Star Fox and just in general their other Nintendo franchises, because Mario and Zelda, Kirby even get so much love, but all the other ones just get kind of snuffed. It sucks. Animation didn't age well. Donkey Kong with no bananas for 1 minute. They should make this like a game mechanic for the next game. It's like, if you don't get Donkey Kong his bananas in like 1 minute, he's gonna become really skinny. I'm gonna just choose my own colors here again. Yup. This is fine. This is A-okay. This is decent. A decent, sane human being drew this and believes it's okay, so it is okay. Oh, I was probably drawing a Diddy's stomach, eh? Let's get that in there. There we go. Should probably do it on the other layer. Hold on. So it's actually there. There we go. And I'm coloring on the wrong layer again. I was in the first place. Sorry, I'm getting scarred at the moment from what I just created. You can add tears in DK's eyes. They can stop shoehorning Pikmin into everything. Love Pikmin, but they don't belong to the background of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. No. Have you seen Pac-Man 2 from NES? I played that on like a ROM we had for our PSPs back in the day. It sucks. I hate that game. I thought it was the most frustrating thing as a kid. This is a wrench! Okay. I think we're good. DK is like absolutely terrified right now with what he's dealing with. Oh gosh. All of these open gaps I'm leaving. How could I do this? There we go. I need to stop with this. It's like the art program itself is actually fighting with me right now. It's just like, no, we will not let you finish this cursed thing. And I'm going to tell them, no, I'm actually going to finish it, because I'm horrible. Because I'm wanted in 15 countries. Just a rough coloring job there. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's enough to really accurately depict the horrors of what you guys are just witnessing right now. Honestly, that's fine. We'll just we'll settle with this. There you go. Okay, I have issues. Okay, next request. He's always been very picky with crossovers outside of corporate promotion to Smash Bros. Yeah. Is that dog I hear? Oh yeah, that's probably Willow making a fuss outside. She usually does. Anytime the door makes a noise in our house, she goes ballistic. And then somebody comes through that door, then she becomes a wimp right after. Looks like that soldier meme. It actually kind of looks like that one, like, Doge meme. A little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's do the Hulk next. I'll try a Hulk, and I'll look up... Let's see if I can actually find this. We're talking about... I'm gonna try to get like a actual accurate sort of drawing of from a John Bryan. This looks like it. Seeing these two in this style makes me realize the perfect time for an anime Mario movie would have probably been the early 90s. Actually, if you want to ask me, like the perfect Mario movie that was made, or closest we're gonna get, was probably the late 80s Mario movie made in Japan. I adore that one. It's kind of messy. It goes all over the place, but man, it overflows with charm and personality. Yeah, I love that one. That there's Dale. Okay, hold on. Hold on, give me 1 second, folks. They did the live action. I like the original Hulk the best. The OVA is wacky and fun. Doki doki doki, do it. Heard it was terrible, but it seems so much more fun than the boring modern Mario movie, surely. I don't think it's even that awful. It's just like... It's just kind of goofy. I don't think it's awful in the slightest. Okay, you seem to be like a comic book writer, more or less than an actual artist. And I got it right. The page you found there is right. Okay, okay, good. that is good. Just making sure. Y'all have that comic? Sweet. I frankly don't really have a lot of superhero comics. It's not really been my department, really. But I really like a lot of the old superhero art. Very distinct forehead and brow ridge with this era of Hulk, which is really fun. I'll try my best to kind of mimic it the best I can. You'll try here. Miyamoto thought it was uninspired, but to be honest, considering how niche video games were at the time, it's fun. I don't think it's uninspired at all. It's just, I think it's a lot of fun. Like, critically and objectively, it's not very good. But if you just want a fun time, or just want to watch something interesting, then yeah, it's a fun watch. Just hate that ending. That ending is the most confusing thing ever. I will agree. It came out of nowhere. It didn't destroy the movie for me, but also just like it made no sense. There's nothing leading up to it at all. It's just so random. For that reason, I kind of found it entertaining. But yeah, it's just like, what the heck is going on? Not just an art story, right? Yeah. Do you like the Hulk movie from 2003? I have not watched a lot of superhero movies, so I would not be able to really comment on that. I have not seen any Hulk thing, really. He's just a green man to me, for the most part. Okay, something like this. I'm going to try to add at least some detail to his face to kind of get it right. But I'm not really sure if I'm even doing that. We'll do my best. Dex Machina horse crap. Get out of here. Let Mario get a happy ending. Seriously. And also, can we just stop with like making video game movies, like modern ones, isekais? Can we just quit that? Why can't we just have a Mario movie that takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom exclusively, with Mario just already there in that universe, like he is in the games? I don't know. It makes a little bit more sense in the context of the Sonic movies, because you already had games where Sonic characters and humans are literally coexist in that same universe. But Mario just doesn't make sense. Did they get that from like the Super Show or something? Because like even the Super Show was guilty of that. I don't know what's the deal with Mario and the isekais. Basically brought back the huge brows that were missing for a while. He had those in his earlier comics where he looked more Frankenstein-y. It's messy, but it's got good parts and it's better. It gets Hulk better than the MCU for sure. Well, I do really like the design of this Hulk a lot better than just big buff green man. You know, like Hulk here actually has like a stature to him, a unique appearance. And for the kind of character he is, it just makes the most sense for him. So no, I like the direction that they went for the design here. Really just kind of going like simplifying some of this along the way, because there's a lot of muscles on this guy. I'm always impressed by like the depth of like these artists' knowledge on musculature and how the muscles interact with each other. That's something I always have admired about like comic artists greatly. At least of the like the real original ones from that period. It's so Super Mario Super Show core. Super Show is the funny Mario. Yep, had them in Brooklyn first, exactly. Could have sworn he was from Brooklyn in a Japanese manual or something. Oh, maybe? I mean, it's possible. I won't give any credit or that until like I know for sure. But maybe that's possible. I have no clue. And yeah, he said he was based on Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde. So yeah, that would make sense. I mean, the comics are not mindless, though. You can imagine it's more in your head. It's just my opinion. CGI in the MCU is overused and mindless to me, but I think so too. Like, we're blowing so much money on like effects that, in the grand scheme of things, don't really add much to the actual film's quality. They're just there for spectacle, and sometimes they're just there to kind of just distract you from how poorly written the movie is. Okay, something like that will work out just fine, I think. Movies tend to be... Comic artists have been big on anime since like 30s and 40s, where they had lots of books about it. Yeah. No, those guys were like the pros at it, though. They were geniuses. Okay, I'm actually quite happy with this one. I was expecting kind of like a messy, gross disaster, but this one's actually alright. It's not too bad. I do like the old color scheme, where it's a little bit more like greener like this, though. It catches your eye more, I think. Yeah, thank you. Is that... I'll sort of blacken out the eyes for now. Kind of like this, somewhere along there. I can maybe add like some detail, maybe, just on like the muscles themselves. Not too much though, because I don't want to spend on this forever. We lost Sal Buscema, one of the biggest Hulk artists. Earlier this year, it's very 80s, but his work remains phenomenal to this day, especially the way he depicted punches and impacts. Oh, rest in peace, man. You know, it's crazy that we even have a lot of the, like, some of those people alive today. It's crazy to think that just, like, you know, in the age that we're living in, a lot of those great artists, they're starting to go away now, and there's not much we can do about it, unfortunately. This is why their art is important. It's gonna outlast them. And I mean that in like the best way possible. Yeah, there's a quick and dirty prime early era Hulk. A good deal. It's very little consistency in world building for Mario. That is very true. There's a book called Super Mario Bros. Trapped in the Perilous Pit, which states that the brothers were from Brooklyn. This is new for me. Yeah, that book, I forgot about that. I think Charles Martinet did a reading of that at a convention, and I think that's what I saw long ago. Okay, hold on. Trying to think, what other requests have been made? Let's see. Okay, somebody requested, yeah, those two comic characters, Morton Phil, and then Kane and Mac as well, their OC. Let's do Morton Phil. Yeah, let's do those guys. Let me find like good images of these two here. Yeah, I love these two. At least mostly from a design aspect, because I haven't read too many of the comics. Oh dear, let's not do that. I'd like to be able to see more closely. If I can just get something that's not a PNG. Yeah, something like this. There they are. There's the duo. Let's see if I can do something fun with these guys. What's your style of humor, like comedy style? Well, I guess let me try to think about this for a minute, because I find a lot of things funny and I make a lot of jokes. Uh, I guess I really love nonsense humor. I think that's kind of my niche. Non sequiturs. That's kind of my jam. Also, repetition in general just kind of gets me laughing. It's either like non sequiturs or flat sarcastic deliveries always get me. Those are always great too. If it's not non sequiturs, then like my favorite kind of humor is like strictly like character driven. So like you said, like sometimes if the delivery on its own is funny, then that's enough to get me going. Or if it's something like, just a funny character interaction. Like the lines themselves don't necessarily have to be funny, but it's the way that the characters act and react to their situations. I'm kind of a visual guy, being an animator and an artist and all that. So I laugh way more at like visual type humor more so than like the written or the stand-up. But I think anything really can make me laugh, and I think I can tell any joke as long as it's funny. It doesn't really matter the type per se. It's just as long as it's funny. Now, what's not funny is stuff like, for me at least, like pop culture references, really like cliche one-liners, or like, I don't know, out of place flatulence humor, stuff like that. Just low-hanging fruit in general. Their comedy style is very spy versus spy, but with more history and dialogue. Oh, that's interesting. I kind of had my doses with Mad and Spy versus Spy. Mostly thanks to the like the 2010s Mad Cartoon Network show, which looking back on it probably wasn't all that great, but it served me well for at least a couple of years. Hey yo, Katie the Doodle Devil, welcome. Remember requesting a Garfield character design expression sheet? Yeah, Ren Stimpy. Yeah, I suppose so. We can probably do that one. I watched the cartoon when I was younger and seen a few comics. They're fun. Have you seen Jimmy Carr? Who's Jimmy Carr? Hold on. Oh yeah, the comedian. I guess not too bad. No, not too much. I recognize that name, but I don't think I've ever actually seen any of his like stand-up routines. Comics like this are usually like my go-to when it comes to studying, funny poses, funny expressions, and all that. Because I think comics are probably like the most free-form, like cartooning art you can get is comics. Because even in animation, you have to kind of, there's a lot of scientific, technical things you have to consider when animating, but in comics you just draw the darn thing. If you're able to draw it, then boom, you're all set. Holmes-esque, and then loose some of those old-timey clothes and turned away. See here. I see. Love a lot of Chaplin movies for the visual humor. Yeah, for sure. Wonder if Connie would still be on the table for a request. Oh, Connie? Could be. Do I have that character up here? No, I don't. So you might have to shoot me a full name if I'm going to look that one up. Let's see here. Trying to be a little bit more quick and efficient with some of these, because I think I've only really done like 5 drawing requests in the span of an hour, probably even less, so I'm gonna try to do some of these a little quicker. I love the way that the hands are drawn a lot. They're really detailed, but they're also very simple, which I like. There we go. Get them on a separate layer, so they're not interfering with the reference that I've got. I do quite like this Lonlo's fellow a lot. He is quite funny. I like where his glasses are just kind of perched. Speaking of which, yeah, let's get that taken care of. Very goofy design. Can I send it to you via Instagram? I suppose so. Like, they're like gloves, but hands. Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's kind of hard to describe. Like that. Now the wrinkles on the hands are really funny. They're so detailed, yet they're so simple at the same time. He's not giving you the L, he's just... I need to find a place where he can actually point his hand up. In this sort of a frame here. Oh, he lost an eyebrow in the war. Okay. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Let's give that a color. Why the one on the left look like Opie from Family Guy? I have no idea who you're referring to. But I wouldn't say they look like gloves, not the original anyway. The design is amusing, I really like it. Yeah, these characters are awesome. Might have seen him as an animal or something. It's basically a master of disguise, but it's portrayed almost like a shape-shifting in the comic. Oh, that's funny. Seem to have 5 fingers, interestingly. Yes. Yeah, they do. No, you can totally draw with 5 fingers expressively. That's something you can totally do. Oh gosh. Might have to work on filling some gaps again, just to make this all work. Because if all of you have seen, I'm very good at that. Case in point. Okay, might have messed up a couple of layering issues here. So everything's just kind of melting into each other. But that's okay. That's fine. We'll work with it. These are very rough anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'm not losing any sleep over it, that's for sure. There we go. Do the same for the eyes, right there. Five fingers are overrated. Yes, indeed. Again, you surprisingly can draw 5 fingers very expressively if you decide to. Okay, I'm gonna add like just some of this blush that they've got going on here, kind of around them. Let's see, I need a bigger brush. Yeah, something overlapped on this guy's nose. I'm not really sure what. Yeah, we'll do it here. He seems to have a lot near his mouth area here. Include on the fingers, like that. Kind of like so. On the head a little bit. Again, kind of on the finger. This is a really quick and dirty job, but hopefully it's better than nothing. I think that'll suffice. Okay, and there you go. There's Morton Fill for you. At least a quick and dirty Morton Fill for you. I don't know if you saw the Insta thing. In case you catch this, okay. I'll take a look there. I probably got a couple messages now that I gotta get through. Love the tri-dimensionality of your character's eyes. Thank you. That's something I try to shoot for. Catch this to put it. Connie from Brickleberry. Okay. Let's look up Connie Brickleberry. Okay. We will draw this, ma'am. Real quick. I was wondering why Brickleberry sounded kind of familiar. Like, oh, I think I know what that is. We could probably do Garfield next year. Asterix was pretty huge for a time overseas. Not so much anymore. Yeah, Asterix and Obelix was those guys were pretty big for a while. Another comic where I really appreciate the art in it a lot. Okay, let's try with you. England a bit maybe, but to the rest of the Anglosphere it never existed. Yeah, unfortunately. This is why I like experiencing like foreign media and foreign art, because a lot of that you just don't, it doesn't really ever get here in America. Never really, or at least not a lot of it gets very popular. But there's so many good things being made everywhere in the world. And I kind of want to experience all of that. I don't want to be stuck here with our American media. Not that it's like inherently bad or anything. But if you're kind of sick and tired of what we got going on here and you want some variety, you want some new content, just look what they're making in like England or Europe or Asia indeed. Australia maybe, all those places. I'm gonna try to get this hair right. It's kind of an interesting shape going on. Kind of like that, yeah. Came back from the toilet to see Lick West. Jump scared for a minute. Yes, we are drawing your girl right now. Or at least I am trying to. I can't promise it'll be like perfect. Something like that maybe feels alright. That. Honestly, flexible with any art. I think it's cool to see any character drawn in your art style. Really like the previous drawing requests. Thank you. I appreciate you. I try my best. Obviously, with all these characters, I could do probably a darn well better job. You know, taking actual time to really figure out what these characters are and what they're all about. But obviously, in the nature of a stream like this, where I only have so many hours of the day to do these, then I just kind of have to make with what I've got. So, and of course, not every drawing is going to be perfect, and I have to remember that. Just be okay with the fact that not every single drawing I make is going to be up to my liking. But I very am often my worst critic as well when it comes to that sort of thing. Want some free inspirations? Look up early 2000s educational video games. That's a good pool, yeah. A lot of fun things being done with that sort of thing. kind of just like drawing her as if she's walking, sort of. And she kind of has one arm in the front and one kind of going the other direction. Like, hopefully that works out, just the way that's kind of drawn. I realize I'm not really getting the shape of her face down here quite right. It's supposed to be a little bit more like that, so you can actually have, like, a place for the collar. I'm using the smudge tool, not the eraser tool, and that's why nothing's working right now. I was like, what's going on? Now I know what's going on. There we go. I tried to make her a little bit more organic looking in this drawing because, just my personal opinion, like adult animation styles like this are not my jam. People who know me probably already know this. So I'm just switching some things up a little bit to make it a little bit more lively. Or in an attempt, anyway. I think that's okay. It's looking pretty good. I'll go with that. Can you make extraterrestrial escapades by UX Goodles by Psy Guy if you have time? What? I might have to figure out what you're talking about. If I may add another, more serious Spanish suggestion. Luca Torrile from Torpedo. Hold on. Let me see who that is. Luca Torrile. Aha, this guy. Might be able to do him, yeah. This looks great, makes me think of a Humphrey the Bear character. Well, thank you. Yeah, they're landfill adult animation. Yeah, especially here in the States, it feels like that. Ice Cream Guy in Class B Shupo style. Who the crap is... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about, like, the Lilo and Stitch Ice Cream Guy? The other two shows I follow this are much worse. I feel like I remember Ellis Mark talking about those, and I feel like that was enough footage for me. I think I figured out, like, what was the gist of those two shows. I forget what they're called. Actually, Expressive in Life. Well, thank you. Well, it took years for me to actually draw expressively because my characters were really stiff before too. Yeah, I might draw Ice Cream Guy just for the heck of it. Very simple in terms of style, yet Seth it takes 10 months to animate all of that. Yeah, for sure. I have no idea how something like Family Guy takes that long to make. My theory is that there's just a bunch of like approval processes that those guys have to go through just to get things done. Although I'm not really sure what the pipeline for Family Guy looks like, so I don't want to say too much on the matter. I'm just surprised that it takes that much at all, honestly. I see. You know, adult animation can look nice. It can have its own style. Instead of just bad drawings. Like, I instantly think to a show like Duckman, which basically does everything that adult animation these days tries to do, where it's like kind of grotesque and ugly. But like, Duckman does ugly really well. Also just because it's Class B Shupo, that probably helps a little bit. Or even something like Home Movies, it's so weird looking. It definitely does not fit the typical adult animation look. But I think that show looks great, even though it was like intentionally supposed to look really bad. Okay, I forgot about the badge here, so I'm adding that in right now. Here we go, I'll just throw this in here. Not this one. That's probably good. No, that's part of the shirt there. I'll color some of this in white, just so that's there. Okay, there is Connie from Brickleberry. There you go. Document is the definition of, hey, I'm a good adult animation. It seriously is. It's what adult animation should be. Not the badge, no! Yes, we're throwing in the badge. Has anyone really decided as to even go that far in wanting to look more like so? I don't know. Still managed to stand out with that looking ugly or absurdly simple the way many adult animation does. Yeah, early Simpsons definitely hits different. It really does. Okay, so some weird Ren and Stimpy-esque expressions of Garfield. I guess I can try to mess with that for a minute. Garfield just, I swear, he has a way of appearing in my streams, and I have no idea why. He haunts me. He really does. Just this man. He follows me around. Oh yeah, that's a good reference, sure, we'll go with that. Oh, simply splendid, my Connie propaganda pushes further. Got him. I'm sorry, John. Hello, Wanderson. Welcome. You will love him. You have to choose. Watch the whole season of Family Guy from the first until last season, or watch all Disney live actions. Oh my gosh. As much as I dislike Family Guy, at least Family Guy is original. I will say that. Okay, so I'm probably not going to spend too much time on this, because, you know, there's other requests I want to make, but I'll do something like, I'll do like a really off-the-wall expression with Garfield at least. That's kind of echoes Ren and Stimpy a little bit. See, I think we're already like one step there. Of course, I have to add certain features to kind of make this work. Something like this. Ice cream style and Spumco could be fun. We'll definitely draw Ice Cream Guy before I'm out of here. Wait, is that covered? Oh, it's the movie, of course. Yeah. I was hoping to get some people going just like, what? Greetings, could you draw Homelander as my request? Homelander. Hold on. Who's Homelander? Oh, this guy? Maybe. Probably could. It's perfect, though. The expression looks exactly the way I imagined. Okay, awesome. That means I'm doing this right. My training in the Spumco style is paying off. Something kind of like that. We'll have a shoulder hunched up. We're like bordering on like that meme where the guy is running over the other dude with a car. I don't know what that is particularly, or what that's like, what you would even call that meme, but Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, this is a pretty evil-looking Garfield, I must say. Odie, you idiot! This is evil Garfield. Finish your Garfield drawing. I'd like you to request a drawing of Frankie Foster. Your sweetie. Okay, I can draw your sweetie. Those who don't know who Frail Animator is, independent animator YouTuber who makes fan-driven anime content based on characters from either games or shows. I see. Okay, plate of lasagna. We'll just do this really quick. Because that's gotta be what he's holding. Is the lasagna. We'll have him hold it. Kind of like this. Kind of like that. Something along those lines, maybe. Hold on. There we go. Let's see. He'd definitely look this malicious. He would, because basically every character in Ren and Stimpy is, like, malicious in some way. Or gets to that point. Like, even Stimpy was, like, the most innocent character, has his moments in that. I think that's why Ren and Stimpy is so relatable for a lot of people, is just the fact that everybody's kind of a nut job. Just like all of us. Just like me. Just like you. It's a universal feeling. Gotta have details like that in there if we want to make it authentic. You probably would have like the Stimpy style fingernails in there as he's holding the lasagna, so let's get that in there. More detailed shoulder there. Okay, yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, we gotta add like the floofs he's got on the top. The image I grabbed kind of obscured them for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, something like that. Let's color him in. Or attempt to. There we go. I really need to catch up with chat here. Basically implying to get rid of Odie. It's not the bottom of the barrel of super... Okay, talking about superhero stuff. Garfield with that evil expression looks like he's poisoned it. He is going to kill Odie with poison lasagna. What an evil soul. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Get the black in his ears. How could I forget? I'm starting to flake with my Garfield here. This is not okay. I can't do this for the fans. Alright, I was just keeping an eye on time there. Just like that. Get that there. I'll throw in some, like... some red in there so you can actually see, like, the tomato. Throw in some seasoning. Just kind of clean that off there, the side of it. Hold on. There we go. Gotta get this here. There we go. You know, just a better match will give him, like, really dirty teeth. And colored eyes, because that's just how a lot of the characters in Ren and Stimpy are. We'll give him pink eyes, yep. Darken those eyelids. Maybe not that bad. Like this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we got something. Perfect. Nope, we gotta get his pig nose in there. I don't even really know why I blackened out his nose like that. But yeah, there's... I'm just gonna call him, like, Evil Garfield at this point, because that's what this is. Evil Garfield. There we go. Where's the lasagna, John? We all go a little mad sometimes. Beyond Bates, probably. Yeah. I mean, I'm insane all the time. Just make it a confession there. Can you do Kanata from Lucky Star, but in the Edda 90 art style? All these art style requests. Give him sharp cat claws to make him more evil. I do like him with the fingernails, honestly. It just makes him look more unsettling. Are we sure this Garfield didn't smoke the lasagna instead of eating it? That's great. Nice job. Now that's my turn. Okay. No, hold it. We gotta draw a couple more characters. All right. Ice Cream Guy has been suggested before Frankie Foster, so we gotta do him. We will do Frankie though, I promise. I gotta get an image of him just standing. It doesn't even have to be like high res, I just need like a picture. Lilo. Same dude. Alright, Ice Cream Guy. Well, Kane and Mac came first. Technically, yes, they did. Oh gosh, here. I'll throw those guys on. Again, there's a lot of ones I'm missing, I'm sure. Peppino Spaghetti from Pizza Tower is also a funny character to draw. I actually drew him on one of my request streams. I think it might have been the second one, if I recall correctly. Alright, Ice Cream Guy. This should be a really simple one. Just gotta get the right brush first, jeez. Gerson from Deltarune and Tex Avery style. That's something I would just like to see in general, is just Undertale Tex Avery. That's just a funny concept to me. Okay, I'm gonna have to shrink this because I need room for his body. I need to get the structure of this guy down first before I even bother with the details. Because I need to capture his aura. I wonder if I can even, like, just give me 1 second. I might actually just make his legs even shorter than that, like something like this. That feels more Ice Cream Guy like. That would improve the world dramatically. It would. What were your thoughts on Cuphead? I loved it. I loved Cuphead. And I loved the DLC that came out too. I loved playing that with my little sister. That was like one of my greater memories playing video games, was running through that game several times with her. It's not only a beautiful looking game, but mechanically it's really great. It's it's challenging but not frustrating. And I think it's just designed very well. So, yeah, I love it personally. And as far as like Fleischer cartoon homages go, or animation of that period, it's definitely one of the more faithful ones. I'm not honestly really sure if we're ever going to see a game like Cuphead made ever again, though. just because of how expensive the first game was to make and how long it took. Like, I mean, obviously they recuperate a bunch of the costs from just how well the game sold and whatnot, but like just trying to do something like that again would be nuts. If you know everything that went behind during the scenes and what it took to really make that film a reality, it's crazy. Tourist Aura. Uncle Aura. IGN game journalist who couldn't beat the tutorial on Cuphead. Yes. Oh my goodness. See, I find that so funny. It's just like, you couldn't beat the tutorial. You shouldn't even have, like, a right to say anything about the game at that point if you couldn't even get through the stupid tutorial. It's like, are you serious, man? It was hilarious, or at least I found it kind of funny, when Silksong came out. And I think a lot of new people were playing it, and by new I mean people who have not played the original Hollow Knight by the time that game came out. And they were complaining about how hard the game was. And, I mean, to their credit, Silksong is a very, very hard game. But it almost felt like some people didn't expect, like, how difficult it would be. And I'm over here just going like, well, yeah, I mean, Hollow Knight, the first one, is a difficult game. Why'd you think it would be a surprise that it would be even harder? I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not saying it's an easy game by any stretch of the words. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because it is not. It is a good deal harder than the first Hollow Knight, that is for sure. I gotta get a face line here so I can actually get this lined up just right. I gotta get his glasses down. What? Gotta make his jaw a little bit bigger. It's funny because I stammered at that part for a few seconds. I thought for a moment I was going to become a game journalist, but thankfully got over it. Watching it can be a little bit of a painful experience, I know. Because it's just like, okay, how are you even a game journalist to begin with, my man? I think we gotta make his forehead a little smaller. There we go. Okay, there's a ice cream dude. I'm gonna blow him up a little bit, and then we can color him. Hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, I was gonna actually blow him up. Hold on. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. So, what's new? I'm a newbie too, and I thought how difficulty was great. Keeps me on my toes, though I haven't finished the game. Silksong is definitely a trial. That is for sure. So, I applaud you, Soldier, for even giving it a shot in the first place. It is a hard game. Especially if you decide to go, try to go for Act 3. Okay, I wonder where... There's a gap in here somewhere that's kind of making all of this fall apart. Trying to figure out what's going on exactly. Always fill your gaps, kids. There we go. Just gotta get the base color down in there first. And then from there I can kind of give the texture of his shirt that was once there, but isn't anymore. Yeah, this sort of texture. Fill that in. A lot of 80s games can be pretty difficult too. There remains a pretty clear inspiration on many indie games today. Oh yeah, for sure. Old games were no joke. They really weren't. I was mentioning earlier that I used to play old games on a modded PSP when I was younger, and a lot of the games that I played on there I couldn't even beat. Now, I'm not sure what of those games I couldn't beat based on the fact that I was just like a dumb kid, or the fact they were difficult, but I think a lot of those games are just, in general, like really, really tough. Also, typo. Favorite Tex Avery character? Okay, I gotta think long and hard about this one. Okay, not really. I think the wolf is probably my favorite. Honestly, he probably has the funniest lines. Uh, he's had the most memorable appearances. I don't know. Every time he's on screen, I forget who voices him exactly, but his voice is just awesome to me. It's so iconic. Like I think to like stuff like Northwest Town Police, I think it was called. Obviously the red cartoons. Just love that. Spike is a close contender though. He is fantastic. He has probably the funniest design of all Golden Age cartoon characters. Just the way he's drawn, it's magnificent. There are also just a lot of one-off Tex Avery characters I do quite like. Uh, the cat from the Cuckoo Clock one, whatever that one was called, I kind of forget. Uh, I love that one. I love that character. Just use the same. There we go. Okay, let's do that a little better. There we go. Okay, let's see if... Okay, that works out. There we go. There's the man, the myth, the legend, ice cream guy from Lilo and Stitch. The objectively best character in the Disney Cinematic Universe, or whatever they're calling it these days. Okay. I feel like Kane next, so let's draw Kane. Everybody's favorite character ever. You know why? Because I told you to! Ha! That was pathetic. Took until mid-5th generation to stop copying the arcade difficulty. It took a while. It really did. Tyrak from the 80s My Little Pony? Maybe. Amy Anuki from Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi? Ugh. That one's tempting. I have not watched a lot of Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, but I love that show's art style so much. Yeah, let's see. I'm looking at my time right now. It's 2:53. So yeah, I'm gonna draw Ami Anuki, I think. But that might be the last request of my queue, because otherwise I might go a little bit over time. So let's just do that. Trying to make sure I spell this right, dang it. There we go. Have you ever watched Hoodwinked, the journalist Bad Wolf? Hoodwinked is a perfectly decent movie, honestly. Like, I've got no issues with it. The animation's really bad, but in a way it kind of gives the film a weird, unique identity. So, in a weird, bizarre way, I quite like it. When I was growing up, I thought it was just awful, but, you know, looking back at it, it really ain't that bad. Now, the second Hoodwinked, on the other hand, that one's garbage. Don't watch that one if you guys value your sanity. After Digital Circus episode 8, I keep imagining Kane versus Omega Flowey. Yeah, I know. I'm really hoping I'll be able to see episode 9, the final act, in theaters. We've got a theater about 20 miles away from us that is going to be doing a couple of showings of it. But we also have a theater like right here in town, so I'm really hoping they just pick it up. If not, I'm just going to like get in their faces and be like, hey, you need to play this. Kind of doing a more stylized look for Kane right now, just because a little hard to translate this man's design in 2D sometimes. It was getting late. Yeah, I usually try to wrap these things up by like 3 o'clock or so. I frankly did not realize we were going overtime like we have been. So for now, I'll probably just close it for now. It's incredible how fast these things go, honestly. Let's see if I can draw. I'm trying to draw a little faster as a result. Just trying to get something good out of these last few. At least I have drawn Kane a couple of times, to the point where I kind of get the gist of him. Like that. Personally miss the difficulty of older games. Completely understand not everyone wants to fight for their life in a video game. I mean, that is true. Sometimes you just want to sit down and enjoy a video game. But I kind of agree with what somebody else said earlier in chat. It's just like, there's something really satisfying for like conquering a really incredibly hard challenge in a video game. Obviously, you've done it right, because if it's just unfair and like rigged, then it's not going to be fun. But if it's a game that's like, you know, intelligently designed to be challenging but not unfair, I love stuff like that. Both scared and excited for the finale. One showy near me is completely filled. Oh, really? Already? Yikes. I'm hoping in the area that I'm at, like, there's not a huge Digital Circus audience. I'm not really sure how many Digital Circus fans lurk around in the country. So part of me is, like, crossing my fingers that I'll be okay. No, it's crazy, though, that the showings are already filling up. In a way, that's great, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the, how this all unfolds. Try to get his foot in there. Something like that feels great. At least fairly decent. You've drawn many characters in a brief amount of time, eh? More than I was expecting, that's for sure. These streams, in a way, can be kind of nice because it kind of forces me to draw fast. Which is something I'm always working towards, just trying to be more efficient at drawing. Not stalling, just trying to get as many lines down as necessary to kind of convey the idea of whatever it is I'm doing. So in that way, I'm quite thankful for doing these streams. Plus, at the same time, they are nice and casual and chill. So for months like this, where I'm just like, there's so many things I'm doing right now, it's kind of nice to just take a break and do something like this. Okay, I'm quite happy with this one. That's a decent enough Kane. I'll try to color him in here. I have this weird habit of saying words twice in a row. There we go. Let's get some colors in. You can check seating availability. I'll have to take a look then. Another Minecraft movie situation with the entire crowd being absolutely unhinged. I really hope it's not like that. Like, I swear. Like, I go to a theater to just, like, enjoy my time watching a movie on the big screen, not to deal with a bunch of people screaming their heads off. So I'm hoping that, you know, the theater that I end up going to, if it does play, is not like that. Not like that either. I guess we'll find out. It will be interesting to see. That's for sure. I'm both excited and kind of scared. Yeah, let's like yellow out his teeth, cause why not? We'll get like a slight ton color going on here, down here, without blowing up the entire canvas with colors. Okay, we can probably leave that as is. Yeah, we gotta make his cane gold. Kane's cane! It's like the bee's knees, except it's Kane. Alright, there's Kane. And, okay, so Mac, this guy's OC. I believe he's... I still have an image of this guy somewhere, hold on. I gotta find it first. Okay, well this was from February. I could probably, yoink these and just use those for now. I can see theaters being used more and more for special YouTuber events going forward. Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of where a lot of theaters are heading at this point. Box office numbers are just so inconsistent these days. Like it almost has to be like an established property, unfortunately, for it to go anywhere and to get a lot of traction. You know, unless it's the movie's like really that good and warrants a huge audience. You know, if it has enough people talking. Yeah, Hollywood really is dwindling in relevance right now. Based on promotional material, Jax might get more power than he should. Yeah, I'm a little scared about all that. The sheer amount of Jax in the promos has me very nervous indeed. Do you even know about timing? Because I don't. I just animate trying to imitate Robert McKimson's or Rough Draft Career or Preston Blair's timing and trying to make my animation alive or charming. Oh my goodness, that timing, that's a complicated thing. If I ever do an animation live stream one of these days, which I think I will, I can probably go a little bit more into like my own philosophies when it comes to timing and all that. But there's really like no one surefire way of timing animation. It's almost like a case-by-case basis sort of deal. It's a hard subject. But yeah, that's something I would love to talk about if I did something like a animation live stream, that's for sure. I'm trying to catch back up with chat again. Not like bringing actual chickens in the theater. Yeah. Let's not do that. Do it like this. Okay, hold on. We'll do something like this. There we go. Makes a little bit more sense. Can you take the decision between making El Chavo or Shaun the Sheep? At this point, I'm not taking any more requests, just because we are actually already over time. So I'm just finishing up some of the other requests that caught my eye. But next time I do one of these, maybe. It will depend. It'll only be used by super big channels. Theaters won't take risks or even normal big channels. No. No, that's the thing. Is that the same character from Making OC's live stream? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm drawing, Cartoon Chaos's character right now. Just real quickly. Want to get this hand right. Doesn't have to be like really detailed, but something like that maybe. Feels about right. Yeah, that's all right. We'll go with this. Color that in. I don't think there'll be a chicken jockey moment. There better not be. I have enough faith in Gooseworks and their team that they wouldn't pull something that stupid on us for like the finale. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? No, I have full faith that what the end product's going to be is going to be really, really good. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. You know, instead of being chickens, it's going to be like people are going to bring in live frogs or something like that. Then the moment Ribbit comes on screen, they're just going to start unleashing their frogs all over the theater. Again, I really hope it doesn't devolve into that. But I guess we shall see. Jeez. Okay. Here we are. Let's get this orange kind of taken care of here. Somewhat. Not a perfect match, but it'll do. One problem with my sketching method is if I want to color things, it's kind of becomes a tricky thing to do just from my method of coloring. Where this character was in that OC drawing stream. Hope we do one of those again. It was very fun to watch. I do plan on doing another one, that is for sure. I hope to do one rather soon. Because, from what I heard, a lot of people found it helpful, and it was just really fun. So, yeah, I'd love to do a round 2. And probably next time around, I'm definitely going to limit... Where's the gap here? I'm trying to find it. Right here? There we go. Anyways, for the next one, I'll probably limit spots, just for the fact that like I went over an hour and almost an hour and a half over time, which really, really badly drained me. So I'd rather not be stuck in that again. But yeah, it's definitely something for the future that I'm planning on doing. Let's see, okay. There's Mac. He's looking good. Okay. 2 characters left. Frankie Foster. Alright, let's do that. Oh gosh. You know what, we're gonna go to the, is there a Foster's Home fandom wiki by chance? Okay, cool. We're gonna go there. I do not trust Google Images for characters like this, believe it or not. I really don't. Okay, as Glitch mentioned in a post, this event will set the precedent for future events like this by other people. It will, which means that people better be decent adults, and they better have respect. Because obviously if things go poorly, then it might not be something other people are willing to try. Thank you, Cartoon Chaos. We draw Gerson Boom. Probably not this time. I'm probably just going to wrap up the couple characters I do have here and call it a day. This one's looking good. I assume bigger cities would have to deal with a bit more, but you never know. I guess we'll find out. Are you going to post these on the Insta after the stream's over? You bet! That's what I do with all of my streams. I'll usually just post the sketches from before. The socials. Okay, so Frankie Foster. Let's try this. Might try like a more nuanced pose here. We'll see how that goes. I could probably have her cross her arms or something. Drawing cross hands is like one of the hardest things to ever do, honestly. Like, it always looks really cool, but man, is it a pain to kind of figure out what to do exactly with the arms. Okay, we'll do the hair kind of on this side. I'm gonna try to do something more like a front-facing angle here, just for fun. See if I can get anything out of that. Okay. Kind of like that. Should be fine. Have something like that. Trying to figure out the mechanics of her hoodie here. How that would work with her shoulders raising. I don't know about you, but I just draw a figure of 8 or an infinite symbol and work from there when it comes to cross hand arms. That's actually a good way of doing it. Yeah, that's probably how I should have started. But that's okay. I'm far along at this point that I might as well just keep going. Get those eyelashes in there. Something kind of like that. Feels good. How often do you use YouTube for entertainment? Roughly how many channels do you just subscribe to? I'm trying to think now. Probably like 50 or 60 I'm like subscribed to. About 30 of those channels I probably am well caught up with whenever it comes to like new content that they release. Others, like occasionally. That's probably what I would say. I try not to spend too much time on YouTube exclusively when it comes to my entertainment, and I actually will usually try to watch my like watching hours and my watch history just to make sure that I'm not completely stuck on YouTube. Just for the fact that like if I watch too much, it just exhausts me. Even when I have it in the background as I'm working on stuff. Sometimes I find it way more productive to just kind of listen to music. Oh, voice crack. Listen to music, or just like take a break and watch a movie or something like that, you know? Because I don't want to get too involved in like online culture, particularly. I still want to live kind of just like a normal life if I can. I don't know if that really makes much sense how I'm wording it, but so let me know if it doesn't. I try to avoid content that's like overstimulating, like aggressively so. So stuff like I mean stuff like Mr. Beast is always kind of those kind of videos have always kind of annoyed me. Just like hyperactive, you know, all the senses going on at once and whatnot. It's like I prefer content that breathes. let's get the bottom of her hoodie here, like down here. Kind of like this. Get her Powerpuff Girls shirt in there. Something like that feels okay. We'll go with this. Probably just blow it up a little bit, like that. Okay, yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Let's get some colors in there. I stay far away from shorts. Never like shorts. I hate short form content. And I never want to find myself stuck in a cycle of doom scrolling if I can. Like, I try, when I'm on the internet and watching videos, I try to exclusively stick with long form content. Because there's at least some thought when it comes to long form content. But like shorts are just the definition of just, you know, lazy. I don't give a darn. I'm just gonna do only what's necessary to get people's attention. There's not really any point of view in a YouTube short. It's just nonsense happening. Hey Beyond, I'm waiting there. Yes, I am doing Frankie right now, yes. She's almost done, I just gotta finish coloring her. Briefly liked Vine when it was around. Vine was almost like different though from like a lot of the short form content that we have now, because the way that Vine sort of worked was the fact that like you only had 10 seconds to, or like maybe even less. I don't remember what the limit exactly was. But the limit, like the amount of time that you had to work with for making a Vine was so limited that like there was so little that you can actually do within that time frame. So it forced people to be creative with how they used their time. And I think that created a lot of like funny, you know, short form content because people were just trying to find ways to best work around the limitations that they had to deal with. But I don't know, with shorts it's like there's really no limit to like how long you can make them. I mean, the limit is longer. There is a limit, but it's way longer than something like 5 or 10 seconds. So a lot of shorts almost basically just feel like either bare minimum information or like, I don't know, it's like stalling or whatnot. It's hard to describe my disdain, honestly. It really is, but I don't like them. I want to go back to the days of Vine when things were simpler, honestly. Okay. I just want to fill in some space here real quick, so I'm just going to do a quick blue. If I can get the shape right. There we go. Kind of have to do this in layers. He's looking almost a little bit more like Cartoonz. There you go, something like that. There's a quick, dirty blue. He's very goofy looking right now. Which is not really true to character. Because he's anything but, he's just an annoying, dirty little snob. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing it. We'll go with that. Okay. Last character, finally. I gotta get an image of Ami here. I haven't even mentioned all the AI slop. Where do I even begin with the AI? It more so saddens me than anything else. Like, it just makes me depressed. Like, I don't like watching content that makes me depressed. Like, not in like the, you watch a sad movie sense, but in the, what is this world coming to sense. That sort of depressed. It's even more a slap in the face because, when it's AI, it's just like, oh great, they just pumped out trash, basically. It's like, because who in their right minds would want to actively search this stuff out, That's your sweetie Frankie. You're done. So much art is beautiful, amazing, nice. Thank you for your request art, of course. I'm glad I could draw your sweetie, I guess. What types of music genre do you think would fit a Cartoonz animated show? Well, obviously jazz is the obvious one. But I think, honestly, progressive rock would fit pretty well with Cartoonz. And I've always felt that stuff like weird, early synth electronic music would fit really well with Cartoonz. I don't know why I've always had that sentiment. But stuff like Wendy Carlos and Mort Garson I've always imagined would make great, really funny cartoony sound effects. Or cartoony soundtracks. The Mo can do those too. I really only say that just because of the fact that, early electronic music has been in my mind a lot. And in fact, if I can get my way for my animated pilot, if I can get the soundtrack to be kind of very reminiscent of something like Mort Garson, that would be sick nasty. That's like the sound that I would want. Okay, I will try to... This is looking kind of creepy. Oh no. Something's not right. I will figure this out. Silverline, it filters out people who engage with the material and just mindlessly consume it. Yeah, that's the worst part of it. Like when we get to the point where we just stop questioning what we're watching exactly, that causes so many problems. And it's kind of the reason why this content has just been allowed to exist and not a lot of action has been taken. It's because people just sit there on their phones and they just mindlessly consume it. And they never go, wait a minute, is this made by a human or something? Because it doesn't matter to them. When it really should, because there's a lot on the line with this AI stuff right now. It's crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, Electro Swing 2? Yeah, for sure. Early as in popcorn, or early as in 80s? I'm specifically talking about late 60s, early 70s electronic music. If that's what you're referring to. So the really early kind of crunchy stuff. Stuff like Switched on Bach or Plantasia. My hypothesis is that this kind of consumption was always there and AI has just put a spotlight to it. I think that's fair too. Just because AI has become so rampant and everybody's trying to figure out what's going wrong exactly, that's encouraged a lot more people to just kind of, or it's just, at least like you've said, it's made that sort of form of media consumption just more obvious. It's a much bigger topic than it ever was. Which I think that in a way is kind of good. Nip that sort of consumerism in the bud, if we can. Because that obviously also has its own fair share of problems. But it'd just be nice if we didn't have to deal with the AI at the same time. It had to give at some point. It's actively damaging attention spans. And that's exactly why I try to distance myself from stuff like shorts and whatnot. Just I'd rather not engage with mind-rotting stuff. I'd rather keep my mind active if I can. Especially as a creative person, it's like I don't want to lose that of myself. So I'll keep YouTube for like limited, I'll keep my YouTube time limited, my internet time limited. And if I really am in the mood to watch something, I'll watch like, actual movies or actual TV. Something like that. Something where the humanity is very obvious in it. The arm here. Yeah, I will be honest. Amy's not looking too great. I could have done a bit of a better job, I think. But if anything, this is just like a sign that my drawing energy is waning just a decent amount, so I'm not surprised at the same time. We'll just do like a simple pose, just to kind of close things out. Oh, I see what's going on. She's got like a bracelet on one hand, or like something similar to that shape. And then she's got a different kind on the other hand. So we'll just do it like that. Alright, we'll color this and we'll call it a day. I kind of miss the era when, networks like Cartoon Network would just greenlight weird stuff. Because I don't think something like Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi could ever really be something that's greenlit now. Not because of any content in the show itself, obviously, but just for the fact that, like, people probably would think, oh, this isn't marketable in any way. Look how odd and weird this show is. We need to play it safe. It's just like, no, people want weird content. Okay, I'm trying to find a gap here that's preventing me from giving this full color. I will figure this out. I see. I found it. There we go. Get that flower in there. Just like that. Booyah. Get that eye color. I'm probably going to add some effects to the eyes because they look kind of dead and I'm kind of scared right now. Not going to lie. Okay, I got to try to match the aesthetics of her skirt here. Or her dress, whatever you want to call it. Probably most accurately a dress. Something like that feels alright. Feels decent enough. Do it like this. Kind of like that. You know it's getting late when I start making random noises. Okay. So I kind of see how the eyes are done. We'll just add like a simple eye shine if need be. Oh yeah, let's get the mouth taken care of. Just like a simple, not really sure what the mouth color is, but we'll go with that for now. Companies are way too afraid of taking risks, for sure. Risk taking has plummeted. Whole slew of economic factors. Tends to signal a systematic change as people gradually get sick of it. Yeah. I think as enough, if more voices just continuing rising up, just going like, we want actual content, then I think companies will start giving in. But yeah, the risk factor is so low right now. It's kind of disgusting. It's like nobody, it feels like a company just cannot make and release something on instinct anymore. They have to run so many tests. They have to do all the focus testing. They have to look at all their pie charts. to go, okay, we need to make sure this 100% will succeed, otherwise we're not taking it. It sucks, because there's so many great ideas that just get nerfed because of that. I don't know. It's like humans had more faith in themselves at some point in time, and I'm not really sure. It's a complicated subject. That makes it a little bit better, having those eye shines in there. Still not great, obviously, but, you know, it's better than nothing. It's way better than nothing. Usually they lack authenticity, which is one thing I admire about indie cartoons like Lackadaisy. I think that's the one thing that's really propelling indie animation right now, is the fact that, like, it comes from a place of let me let me rephrase that. It comes from a place of authenticity, even if said media isn't all that great. Like, something like Lackadaisy is, you could definitely not, you can't say that that any corporate hand had their gritty mitts on it. Everything in that pilot was exactly as intended. The vision for it. Same with something like Digital Circus. So, I think that's what draws a lot of people in. You know, people like me. I'm just like, oh, you can actually make things without middlemen? This is crazy! Okay, anyways. She's done. Okay, and I should probably call it here because it is 3:31. And I am tired, so let's... I say let's just close shop for today. My problem is that a lot of animators are not story writers. See, has been... Yeah, exactly. That's a big problem, too. That's a whole nother can of worms that I have a lot to say about, but we can save that for another time. So, yeah, let me just take a count. How many things did I draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. It's about 13 subjects I had. That's not too bad. It's pretty good for one of these streams here. I think as the stream went on, my drawing got a little bit better. This is when things really peaked right here. But this was pretty fun as usual. Thank you folks for coming in for this one and for tuning in. Sorry I didn't have too much to offer this time around, just kind of the same old, same old. But I'm hoping that next month I'll have a greater chance and, you know, more time to think of something a little bit more fun and interesting. This month I just had to fall back on something because I was just getting way too busy. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me. I appreciate that. And tune in next month for hopefully something a little bit more, something more of a high concept for next stream. I'll figure out what that is exactly. So we'll close off with Steroids Diddy Kong and Skinny Donkey Kong, and we'll call it a day here. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Have yourselves a wonderful, lovely rest of your afternoons. You take care, guys. Bye. See you later. Time to kill this stream. Gonna take it out back.